I started working with Louisa in the Dream Bigger space, her membership, and I was just doing the what I was calling in for the week. I think it was $5,000 I was calling in for the week, and the next day I got $2,000. And then over the next 7 days or 6 days, I got an additional $2,300. And I didn't meet the $5,000 goal that I had for that week, but it gave me the confidence that I can do this. This is so simple and easy, because I was doing the helixing daily, and that really helped me get into the energy and call in what it is that I wanted.
Like I'm guessing most people here, I've been to a couple of these kind of master classes. Really liked Louisa's approach. Although I'd done a lot of kind of coaching and sort of work on money otherwise, this was the thing that kind of connected the dots and led to that further success. Got a lot from the community too, so you will meet a lot of like-minded people in there, and already forged some really quite strong relationships there with other members, which has been fantastic. Where I was at versus where I've got to, I'm now consistently having £10,000 months, which is fantastic. I'm sure Louise is open to having a call with you if you are interested in what else she offers. Just kind of really lean into it and trust your instinct.
And just being in Louisa's orbit is so empowering. So yeah, I'm very, very grateful to be here. I've told Louisa this, and I'll say it again. She is the best coach that I've ever had, because she matches me. She works with the energy. She's very loving and accepting. And I'm not one of those people who can just do all strategy. I have to be aligned emotionally and energetically and spiritually with what's going on. And she does that beautifully.
When I first did the energetic edge, I got results like within days. And when I find a teacher that, like I said, she had a new key. She had something that I definitely was missing. And I resonated with her energy. Her energy is amazing. She's so welcoming. She's so generous. She's so knowledgeable. She has so much insight. I'm just like in awe of this energetic person. For me, it's like, this is your next teacher. This is where you're going next.
Nothing has shifted my personal life or the life of my clients faster than working with the amazing set of skills and tools that come with the Helix method. So if you're looking for something to explore that's going to enhance your practice as well as your personal life and give you a heads up like nothing you've ever seen, my strong recommendation is that you check out the Helix method.
Welcome. Welcome everybody. It's so good to see you here. How are you doing? Let's see who is here. Hello. Welcome to the prosperity field. Oh, I'm so excited for today. Who is excited for today? Let me know in the chat. Let's get the chat up so I can see your comments as they are coming in. A huge welcome back to our third session. Oh, this has been wonderful. So over the last 2 sessions, we've been building the internal foundation required for your next era of prosperity, and to be able to step into that next level now. It starts now. And in session 1, we were uncovering the identity level patterns that have shaped 2025 and the subtle rifts between who you've become and the identity that you've been leading from. In session 2, we were focusing on expanding your capacity, so the somatic, the emotional, the energetic bandwidth that's required to hold more wealth, hold more visibility, hold more innovation, hold more responsibility without slipping into contraction. And today we're entering the prosperity field. And prosperity is not just about learning how to make more money. You already all know how to create money, opportunities, momentum. It's about holding it, sustaining it, multiplying it in a changing landscape. And for some of you, it may be reclaiming the level of wealth and ease that you once held before life asked you to expand in different ways. I know that many of you have spoken to me privately that perhaps you've been in a business pivot or a season of health recovery or burnout or an emotional contraction cycle of, from loss or grief, or perhaps a divorce reshaping your financial landscape, or a team restructure, or simply a chapter where you were the backbone of everyone else's needs. And so you're not starting over. Of course, you're taking all of this with you, all of that experience with you, so that what we want to be able to do is anywhere there's any emotional, energetic charges around that is cleared out so that you can feel neutral in moving forward and resume your natural wealth identity, taking with you the wisdom from all of that experience, having more strength, more clarity, more intentionality than before. And this moment in this current market, this is the perfect time to do this. Huge welcome to those of you who are just joining us. And something just to bear in mind, of course, is that this masterclass is just the beginning, and I would love to continue the momentum that we've started together this week, beyond this week in either our private advisory or in the Wealth Portal, which is why I've got the juiciest invitation for you. I'll share more about that at the end of our time together today. And I'm going to give you a heads up on the other ways that we can work together tomorrow in our Shop With Me section, which will follow on from your future self-progression in the Akashic records. Who's excited for that? Alrighty. I can see some nods here. That's fantastic. Let's take a moment just to call all of your energy back. So taking a nice couple of deep breaths, breathing in for 4, breathing out for 4. And just set the intention to call your energy back from people, places, timelines, and spaces. Allow yourself to sink into your body, into this present moment. And I invite you to just reconnect with that intention that you set at the beginning of our time together. Just to reconnect with that intention. How do you want to feel as you step into this next level? What would shift if your decisions, financial, strategic, leadership, all the things were made from that overflow space instead of a contraction? Made from love instead of fear? And as you're reconnecting with your intention for your revenue over the next 90 days, for what you're wanting to create in 2026, your contribution to the collective. On a scale of 1 to 10, how aligned do you feel to your desired next level? And let me know in the comments where you're at with that. And just as a reminder, at the end of our session today, I'm going to do a live giveaway again. So for those of you that have stayed with us and share your biggest takeaway at the end of our time together, we're going to give away our Heal Space-Time Akashic Records activation, which is one of our most popular activations for entrepreneurs who recognize that their relationship with money is then imprinted onto their relationship with time. This is why I love coaching through the money, because it has just a ripple effect across all aspects of life. Okay, this is awesome. Seeing the alignment pieces coming in. This is fantastic. Oh, and I did just want to say as well, you also get an opportunity to be entered into our draw tomorrow. So you can do that by sharing your takeaways in the chat with me live, and also in the Telegram, and also by completing our survey. So I'll ask the team to pop that here for you. It's also on our replay page at the bottom, so you can grab it there. So please do fill out our survey. It helps us to shape the masterclasses moving forward. And we give you a nice little gift at the end of it. So when you hit submit, then you'll receive your gift on the thank you page. And it is our large sums of money meditation that you can just download and listen to on your own devices. So the team will pop the survey for you in a moment in the chat. So let's just take a moment just to think of the context of the prosperity context for 2026, because we're entering a landscape where innovation cycles are getting faster. Things are not slowing down. Has anyone else recognized that? Things are speeding up, really speeding up. And so this is requiring us to innovate faster. Financial systems are diversifying through, crypto and decentralized wealth vehicles. We've got client buying behavior becoming more value-driven and selective. The cost of living has reorganized spending psychology across various different industries. AI, artificial intelligence, or robots, as I want to call them, so we just call them what they are, is compressing timelines, increasing competition, rewarding clarity. And they can be very helpful, but I really want people to be leading with their ascended intelligence and not outsourcing their intelligence to robots. I hope that that resonates for people, and notice where that we're seeing people leaning too heavily on it in relation to their copywriting in the online marketplace. Everyone's voice is kind of getting diluted and sounding like ChatGPT. Does anyone else recognize that? Your voice is your voice. Your frequency is your frequency. Your ascended intelligence is your ascended intelligence. And you really need to harness that in 2026. And wealth is no longer, just about money. It's about stability, sovereignty, adaptability in this era. And the leaders who are thriving in 2026 will not be the ones with the loudest strategy. They'll be the ones with the most regulated nervous system, the most coherent identity, and the stabilized prosperity frequency. So this is where I invite you to think of prosperity as multidimensional. And I think of the trifecta of prosperity because everybody wants to have more wealth, better health, and more love in their life. So we want to have the prosperity trifecta that allows you to feel fully supported, navigate innovation and expansion without sacrificing your well-being, your relationships, your wealth. So let's talk about holding more wealth. I want to ask you something, and to pop it in the chat and to answer instinctively. So just taking a moment now just to close your eyes and just to give yourself a nice couple of letting go breaths. And I'm just inviting you to bring into your mind's eye and imagine if your business had a big surge and tomorrow you suddenly received an extra 50K, an extra 100K, or an extra 250K. Just dropped into your accounts, into your investment vehicles. And I'm just inviting you to notice, how does that feel? And stay with it for a moment. Just notice, what's the first thought that comes through? And do pop it in the chat. What's the feeling that you have? Celebration, freedom, joy, excitement, gratitude. Oh my God, wow, I can't believe it. Yeah, joy. What else are you feeling? Just take a moment to feel into that. What else are you feeling? You may be feeling relief, depending on what's been going on in your business. A little giddy but joyful. You may be feeling liberation, maybe feel grounded, feel like you can plan clearly now. What's changed in your thinking with the awareness that the money's there? What do you feel now that you can give yourself permission to do? Just sit with this for a moment. Just notice what's changed in that awareness that that additional 250k is just coming. Making choices that feel expansive. Loosen up and enjoy it. This is wonderful. Trust all is working well. Ah, this is so beautiful. Now, the deeper truth behind all of this is, of course, if your nervous system cannot hold more prosperity as normal, it's going to treat it like a peak. And peak states aren't sustainable unless they are your normal. So our work is to make more wealth, because everybody's got different levels here, but more wealth ordinary. Does that make sense? Ordinary, like boring. Like making a cup of tea like you do every day. Oh, there's another 50k. Oh, there's another 250k. Feeling the gratitude, of course, but like it's normal. Does that make sense? You want to feel completely normal. And I remember this really landed for me when I flew business class for the first time, because I expected to feel really excited. And I remember as I walked in, and I've used this analogy so many times over the years, of that feeling when you know you're in the right place and you turn left on the plane instead of right, and you go into business class and you sit down and they greet you and they hand you a cup of, hand you a glass of champagne and, show you to your seat and greet you by first name, and they give you proper food and all the things. And me sharing that story, that analogy, when I landed and was flying business class, that was really with me. And I was like, and of course it just felt completely normal. And I was like, this is just really natural. There was no excitement. It was just normal. And I was in gratitude as well, but there wasn't that overexcitement there that the nervous system can then create an energy reversal of sometimes. And Martine's saying I could do that kind of boring. I love it. I love it. Yeah, exactly. We want to make luxury, we want to make, more wealth, just feel really normal. And that's what prosperity is feeling like when your identity or capacity are matching that frequency. Does that make sense? So let's go deeper into this conversation in relation to your relationship with money, because how you're holding wealth is mirroring how you're holding clients, love, health, success, all the aspects. So I invite you to consider these questions. So does having more money, an overflow of money, surplus money, make you relax? Or do you feel rushed? Like you've got to speed up with something when there's a surplus there? Do you feel a subtle pressure to do something with money when it arrives? Or do you sit in more wealth comfortably, or does it activate old patterns of self-responsibility? Keep the reflections coming. And as you're thinking about these aspects of how holding more wealth feels in your body, inviting you just to bring yourself back to recognize, is your business currently, is it in a cash flow expansion or is it in a contraction cycle right now? How are you feeling in your body? Are you holding wealth? Are you circulating it? what is feeling familiar about your current situation in relation to money? And what is feeling perhaps new and a little bit squeaky or maybe edgy because you're doing something different? Okay, this is great. That's wonderful to see all the comments coming in. Does your body fully trust money to stay, to grow, to replenish? Do you trust, as perhaps you make a big payment for something, goes out of the account, do you trust that more money's coming? Because there is always more money coming. There's always more money coming. And for leaders who may be rebuilding after a pivot or divorce or grief or a health issue, this is so essential. You know, you're not learning how to receive wealth. You are restoring your internal permission to hold it again, to create, to grow, to hold. Okay. So let's think about this. What's at stake if we don't shift your capacity now in this fast moving market? What happens when your identity and your capacity are misaligned? Then, and you guys have been sharing this over in the conversations that we've been having in the chat and the Telegram and in the messages you've been sending me, is, you know, you've been seeing profit plateaus. Perhaps there's been some friction in your teams, or you've noticed your investment stalls, you miss the opportunities, your visibility decreases, your decision making slows down, money is recirculating instead of being held and nourished and nurtured. The business may have become energetically expensive to run. So wherever you are right now, I just invite you to consider, in the next 6 to 12 months, what does it look like if things stay the same? And then I invite you to consider, who do I need to be to grow and hold that next level so that you can have that growth that you desire? And what I would love to take us through now is thinking about the 6 energetic blocks that I shared with you yesterday. Let me just get these up on the screen for you here, as our framework for our conversation that we're having around prosperity. And in this current climate, with this compressed innovation cycles and everything that's happening in the finance world, where these are creating, these blocks are showing up, they're creating this energetic drag in every decision that you're making. So let's dive into these together and use the chat to let me know where something is really resonating for you. Notice how your body's responding to our conversation. So the resonance rift, this is where what happens, where your higher self is calling you into more overflow, but your subconscious is still calibrated to that maintenance level or survival. And over our time together, you've been sharing about feeling excited and doubtful at the same time, or wanting overflow, but only trusting that just enough is going to come in, or the pattern of the rising income and yet at the same time the rising outflow. And in today's market, you know, with the pace of innovation, acceleration in AI and all the things, what's going to happen is this misalignment's going to become even more visible. So you'll see this resonant rift showing up financially in that inconsistent cash flow, inability to hold surplus, feeling really emotional when like an emotional contraction when money is increasing. Think of this as your wealth identity is split because your inner and outer worlds are not calibrated to the same level of prosperity. So your wealth cannot stabilize. Does that make sense? So bringing your higher self, your subconscious and your conscious mind into coherence so that wealth becomes normal. More wealth is normal, not exceptional. This is how you move from earning well to holding and compounding well. Okay, this looks like this is landing. Then we have the somatic default set point. So I want you to think of this as your wealth thermostat. This is the unconscious cap on how much prosperity is feeling safe. So a wealth set point is the maximum level of prosperity that your nervous system will allow you to keep based on all your familiar emotional patterns. And you can have complete roller coasters in terms of revenue when you are surpassing your wealth thermostat, as your energy field is just going to keep pulling you back. So this is where you get the boom and bust sort of cycles, or months of overflows followed by unexpected expenses and all the things. And this is really critical in, today's climate with rising costs and inflation and market uncertainty and all the things. The somatic set points can get triggered very, very quickly. And your body's going to bring you back to its familiar emotional state. So you may notice things like when your crypto or your investments rise sharply, does that feel normal or is it feeling uncomfortable? Or when clients are hesitating to step in and, whether you're offering services or products, do you have a level of anxiety, or are you expecting the sales but not who they come from? That is so key, that letting go of attachment. Expect the sale but not where it comes from. So we want to expand the internal emotional baseline so that bigger numbers are feeling neutral, so that you can not only earn more wealth, but retain it, stabilize it, and multiply it. And so it starts to have those consistent income months again, so that you are compounding that amount of money. And just to give you an example of how the impact of these set points, one of my clients, she was having roller coaster months and she could not figure out what was going on, because to her it just seemed so bizarre, because her marketing seemed to work one month and she'd bring in 70k in that month, and then the next month absolute crickets, zero, and the next month 25k, and then the next month zero. And this roller coaster was just exhausting and frazzling her nervous system, and she had team members to pay and all the things. And so I was working with her to find out where her money set point was, so we could find out why these random months were happening. And we pinpointed that her set point was at $337,000 a year. And I asked her, well, what was your revenue last year? And she was like, oh, I don't know off the top of my head. But so I said, well, tell me when you find out. And she sent me a voice memo and was like, Lou, you're not going to believe this. It was the exact amount. 337,000 was the amount of money that she brought into date the year before. Her somatic default set point was that amount. And so because she had already brought that amount in, she was going up and down in the income revenue, because she hadn't calibrated to that next level to hold it. So that was our next piece of work. We'd identified where the issue was, so then we could expand her default set point so she could increase her income and then stabilize it. And we did this through my framework, which I teach in the Wealth Portal, so that she could financially relax and grow her business. And so everybody here has a somatic default set point in terms of the money that you have allowed in so far. And if you're having like weird patterns happening, then I invite you to consider what is going on through this lens as your first point of call. Does that make sense? Which leads us to the current identity. So the financial version of you is creating your current results. And as you're growing your businesses and your investments, whether it's, 500k, $1 million or more, or you're returning to creating more wealth post some trauma, whether it's post-divorce, whether you've pivoted or health reason, your identity is the determining factor in whether your prosperity stays or slips away. Your identity is going to determine what you allow in, what you hold, what you stabilize, what you compound, how you're leading. How are you leading with faith and certainty in an uncertain market? How are you leading in a market that is changing at the speed of light? Your wealth identity is that silent architect of your financial ceiling. And it's all tied in to your nervous system, and I want you to think of your nervous system pinnacle as your capacity ceiling, your capacity to hold wealth without collapsing into overdrive or collapsing into shutdown or over responsibility. And this is where most established leaders are unconsciously limiting prosperity. Your system, your nervous system, may interpret expansion in some way as some form of threat. And particularly because things can be and seem uncertain because of the rapid innovation and the fast-moving markets. So thinking about your nervous system and thinking about the different aspects. So we've got the fight, just as a reminder, where you're pushing harder, you're controlling more, you're feeling pressure perhaps to hustle to keep more money. Sharp as micromanaging teams or tightening around finances. You're forcing outcomes, if that makes sense, when you're in that fight mode. Then we have flight. So that's where you're feeling like you need to rush, move fast, do more. Anyone feel like you've got to rush through your business, rush through doing things, low level anxiety bumbling away, an unresolved flight response. So you may be rushing from task to task, or compulsive productivity. So you've got this inability to slow down, even when you're financially safe. Then we've got the freeze. And this may be showing up as, I know what to do, but I just can't do it. There's a block and I don't know what's stopping me, but I've literally frozen. Procrastination in its sort of ultimate form. And then we have the fawn. So you'll know this one from over-giving, over-delivering, over-accommodating. And this can show up in business in terms of, offering the discounts, boundary erosion, any pricing misalignments that you've got going on, or attracting draining clients, or compensating for any guilt that you have around prosperity may lead you to fawning. And then we have the flop response. This is the nervous system collapse, emotional shutdown. It can look like just somebody's given you some sort of sleeping pill just as you're about to go and do something, and you're just absolutely like, I have got to go to sleep now. That's your nervous system just literally going, and we're going to shut you down. You've got a bit of everything. You're in the right place. We're going to get you sorted. So the key here is to regulate your system so wealth is no longer triggering these survival responses, and more prosperity feels safe in the body. And your body can allow you to launch that new product, do the new thing, because you're calibrated to what's on the other side of it. You're stabilized in your field. And then I invite you to think of energetic buffering in this context. There's leakage in the prosperity field. So wealth is coming in, but it cannot stay. And so it can show up in so many different ways, as we've been already talking about in relation to the sort of inconsistent sales coming in. Because when you've got a somatic default set point that's not letting you surpass an income revenue, then you've got some energy reversals that are going to come into play as you're like, what's going on? And the impact on the team members and on your own emotional well-being and family members and all the things. And in 2026, your customers may be affected. You may have, depending who you work with, what type of customers do you work with, customers and clients? Let us know in the comments. And have you noticed if they have been affected with these market changes? What are you noticing in your business in relation to how the current marketplace is impacting your customers? Let us know in the comments. And if you've got energy reversals at play, you may be attracting clients who don't match your next level. Inconsistent sales during, key times of economic pressure, or feeling energetically drained by certain products or offers that you have, services that you offer. Or they can show up in a way where you're holding guilt, shame, anxiety around money, all the things. Which leads me on to the strategic dissonance block that we talked about yesterday. And I'd like you to think of this as miscalibrated growth decisions. So think of this as the silent profit killer in your business, where you have misalignment between your business model and your expanded prosperity identity. And this is the thing, when strategy is selected from fear or urgency, or where you're comparing yourself, or you're feeling depleted or pressured or panicking because of what's happening in the marketplace, or an outdated identity, then energy reversals are going to follow, and it's going to have a direct impact in what you're implementing in your business. And this is so key. You know, how you started 2025, that strategy may no longer be aligned. It may have been aligned at the beginning of 2025, but what has changed during this year? What new strategy perhaps is being asked for you to innovate into, and for you to have the embodied identity so that you can implement that strategy in alignment in 2026? So that's why we need to upgrade your identity and frequency first, so you can then choose the strategy that's going to be most in alignment for you to hold the prosperity that you're stepping to. That's when wealth is sticking. Does that make sense? This is great to see all your comments and reflections coming in. So we're going to start to shift these blocks in real time together. And in a moment, we'll be doing some helixing together. Let me know who is up for doing some helixing. Before we do that, I do want to share Jacqueline's story. Jacqueline has a wonderful story. So let me share Jacqueline's story with you. I have a conversation that I recorded with Jacqueline in a previous energetic edge. So I'm just going to pop that on for us now together. And as ever, as you're listening to someone sharing their story, I invite you to consider what resonates for you. What awarenesses does Jacqueline's story, you know, bring for you? What does this mean for you? And then we're going to dive into helixing. Let me bring Jacqueline forward. Welcome, Jacqueline.
Well, thank you so much. It's an honor to be here.
Oh, it's absolutely wonderful to have us with you. Do you want to introduce yourself, Jacqueline, so that people know who you are, what you do, where in the world you are?
Absolutely. Thank you. So I'm Jacqueline Gertz. I am the creator of the Goddesses on Fire Mastermind, and I teach women in particular how to use tools to create the life they love. So I'm a speaker and metaphysical teacher, but I specialize really in helping women learn the tools to create the life they truly desire. You know,
Yes, impact. It's all about
I'm in
impact.
Florida, so it's normally very warm and sunny, and not today.
I'm hoping the weather's going to hold for when I come to Florida, Jacqueline.
Well, yeah, it'll be getting nice soon, so come on.
Good. Awesome. Well, I would love to dive into, you know, what was going on for you before you came into your first experience with the energetic edge, and then came into the wealth portal, and your reason for stepping into the wealth portal. I think that journey may be helpful for people.
Yeah, well, it's interesting because I got invited to this the time you did. I think I did it in November, either end of October or November. And I was just so blown away. And the thing that I really find just so fascinating for myself is your energy just drew me in. I mean, you are so welcoming and so loving and so generous. And then the tools that you teach, they just go so deep and they're so easy to use, and you get results quickly, right? So that was like, oh, I have to have more of this. Well, then the first week when we did this, I won 2 of your drawings. And I was like,
Yes.
oh my God, this stuff works. Right? So I won twice just within that week. I'm like, okay, well, I have to have more of this. So then I started thinking about, okay, what am I going to do next? And then I joined the Wealth Portal. So during this time, now I took 2 years off of my business, and I'm just getting ready to be active again. And my thought was, when I did this and then I started seeing things happen, I thought, okay, I have to do the Wealth Portal before I create a new package, before I create a new program, so I can get all this stuff out of the way so I can go beyond where I was before. So that was my goal, is like clear this out and get the foundation so then I can, really take off. So that's why I joined the Wealth Portal, and I love it. I love it. It's been amazing. So and my wins, I got to tell you, there's a couple of wins in there, because I don't actually have a program that I'm selling right now, but I won $100 scratch off. That's the most I've ever won in a scratch off lottery ticket. And I mean, we do it for fun, not to go win $1 million, but it's fun, right? And all of a sudden it's like, oh my God, this stuff works. Then we had a huge amount, a deposit come in that we'd been waiting for a long time, and obviously there were blocks in the way. We did this, and all of a sudden it came in. It's like, okay. So it's just the little things along the way that I'm like, it's so easy, these things, these tools, and it works. So I'm
Yes. I'm excited for you as well. This is phenomenal because it is the piece that we're clearing the etheric pathways so that we're available to the money that has been sitting there in our field, and we've been blocking it unconsciously.
that, and then the other piece that I really, really like what you do is, I mean, the depth of your knowledge and wisdom and insight and intuition is just mind-boggling to me, because you just pinpoint things. It's like, oh yeah, of course. So the other piece of it is, the identity. You talk about creating the new identity and your future identity. And one of the things that I really, really wanted to focus on was surplus, was really having that surplus. Always have more than enough, more than enough. And, now I've gotten to the point where I really do, at the end of the month, whatever's left over on my checking account, I can sweep it over into my savings account. It's like, oh my God, there's the surplus. And so you help me connect the dots and actually do the action to then make it work. So I'm just very grateful to have found you and to be in the community.
Oh, Jacqueline, we love having you in the community. This is just, I'm so excited for you in the trajectory that you're on. And you mentioned the community. What do you think has been, I'd love to know, because I think community is really important. What's been the most helpful part about being in the Wealth Portal community, from your perspective?
The community is always important. And here's what I've really learned is, like, I've always been a loner. I can do this. I can do this on my own. I can do this, right? And that's a programming, right? That's another programming that can be released. But the thing that is so empowering to me is, not only it's mostly women that I've met so far. They're so heart-centered. We're all on the same path of making a good impact in the world, and we want to make a big impact in the world. And everybody is so supportive. But the key for me is, when I listen to what the others have to say, it's like, oh, that's me. Oh, that's me. Oh, me too. Me too. Me too. And that is just so uplifting. It's like, oh, I'm not alone in this. Right?
Yes.
No matter if it's the ups or the downs, it's like, oh, we're doing this together. I'm not the only one experiencing this, whether good, whether the high or the low. So that's been really powerful for me.
Oh, I'm delighted to hear that. I think it's such a gift to be able to have that reflection from what other people are going through, and I think it speeds things up when you're in this energetic vortex all together, working towards a common goal of making a bigger impact and breaking through those ceilings.
Yeah, most definitely. Because we're amplifying the energy, right? Oh, goosebumps. Whew. Yeah, right. We're just amplifying that energy, and just woof, this huge force for good in the world just wakes up, and we go woof.
I love it. I love it. Oh, this is so fantastic. Thank you so much for sharing. As we've, just kind of before we wrap up, if you were, talking to anyone who might be thinking about the program or have some questions about the program, would you have any reflections for them?
Don't hesitate. Excuse me. We get in our head, and like you say, your subconscious will come up with all kinds of reasons not to do it. I had tons of reason not to do it. It's like, don't do it. Don't, you're not even back in business yet. You're not even putting anything out there yet. And yet I knew in my heart of heart that time is going to pass anyway. Money is going to be spent anyway. What if I used it to create a better future? What if I intentionally used my time and my resources now to create that better future? And so that's what I would recommend, that anybody that's really thinking about it, time is going to pass, money is going to be spent. Where do you want to put it that will make your future better?
Oh, I love that. Wise words. I love it. Mic drops, Jacqueline. Mic drops. Oh, thank you so much for your time and contribution to everybody today, and for being with us this week. Excited for you and the trajectory that you're on.
Oh, thank you so much, Jacqueline, retrospectively, for our conversation and for sharing your story. So please send Jacqueline some virtual love. And if you want to have a story like Jacqueline, then please do connect with us in the DMs and reach out, and we will make sure we get you all the right information. The team will drop the link for the Wealth Portal as well for you, so you can have the information there for you as well. I would love for you to have the same kind of results. And of course, if you're curious about our other programs as well, do let us know, because there are many ways that we can work together. Alrighty, that all said, it is time for us to be helixing. Let's start to uncover what's been hiding beneath the surface. Where are these energetic blocks showing up in relation to prosperity? Where's the subconscious running, programming so that it can deliver with 100% success rate your current reality? So what does it need? What's needing tweaking so that you can become an energetic match for your intention, so that it just is inevitable? It's inevitable, it's inevitable, it's inevitable. So we're going to be muscle testing using the sway technique, as we have done on our previous sessions. And I love using the sway technique because it helps you to really connect in with your body's somatic response. So you will feel somatic responses as you say the phrases out loud, and you will feel energetic responses. And that's really key for you to be, and for your body to know, oh, they're listening to me. Finally, they're listening. And also you can then feel it when you've released it. So we are going to, I'll guide you through our higher self invocation, and then I've got some phrases for you in relation to what I want you to muscle test on, and I will give those to you in a moment. And then we will be, after we've raised your frequency, living the energy of the question, and then we'll be taking the aligned action, of course. Oh, and a question came up yesterday about why we hold CV17 for when we're releasing the beliefs and emotions, and why we do the karate chop for energy reversals. That is a great question. And I explain my perspective on this deeply in the Wealth Portal, but in brief here, as you're tapping or holding different points on different meridians, and meridians are your body's energetic pathways. So when we're holding CV17, that sits, it's opening up the pericardium meridian, which, think of that as your emotional heart. So this point calms your system, it opens up emotional processing, it helps your subconscious to let things go more quickly. It's also naturally activating the large intestine and the pericardium meridians through the index and middle fingers. So that's all supporting forgiveness, trust, and releasing the past. So think of the CV17 as supporting you in clearing the emotional charge and the belief level patterns. And then we use the karate chop for energy reversals, because that's sitting on the small intestine meridian and is correcting the body's electrical polarity. So this, think of reversals, as I mentioned before, around where your energy is running backwards. That's the classic upper limit response, and tapping that point, the karate chop point, is resetting the system. It's clearing the resistance and allowing your subconscious to accept the new imprint and the intention. So CV17 for emotions and releasing beliefs, and KC, the karate chop, for resetting energetic reversals. So I just wanted to give everyone that heads up on that, because the question had come in yesterday. I thought, oh, it's a great question. So I hope that helps clarify that. Alrighty, who's ready? Higher self invocation. Let's increase your incredible, beautiful life force energy. So I invite you just to close your eyes and to create an intention of connection through your breath. So you're going to be increasing your life force energy by breathing in for 4, holding for 4, and breathing out for 8. And I just want you to do this 3 times at your own pace. Bringing your awareness to your soul star chakra, which is just about 18 inches above your head. And then affirming to yourself, speaking to all levels of my consciousness, I intend that in the name of divine truth, love, and light, let all information come from my higher self and be in alignment with my divine truth, my highest good, and the highest good of all. I am creating a clear channel of communication and manifestation between my subconscious, conscious, and higher self, so they are 100% connected and in perfect alignment.
and all working towards my highest path and purpose. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Beautiful. And from this place, I invite you now to stand if you're able to stand, so you can muscle test, remembering that a forward sway is a yes, typically. A backward sway is a no. If you go round and round in circles, it's an energy reversal. Or if you're like a plank and you don't move, that's like an energy reversal. And these are the phrases that I want you to test for. So we have 5 here, and then an extra one if you get a no for the last one. So I feel safe holding whatever your desired amount is in cash or in investments, so in savings or investments. I have an energy reversal around holding money. I trust myself to steward wealth sustainably in this economy. I feel worthy of being fully resourced and sovereign. And then I feel emotionally neutral. So we don't want to feel overexcited. I feel emotionally neutral about higher profit months. If you get a no for that, can you then please ask, I feel shame about higher profit months. I feel anxiety about higher profit months. I feel guilt about higher profit months. That makes sense? So I'm going to give you a couple of minutes to tune into those and see what you get. And then let me know in the comments so we can see what patterns are showing up for everyone. Remember to pay attention to the somatic responses. Notice how your body's responding as you say these phrases out loud. What do you notice? What sensations are you experiencing? You've got heat in your hands. Beautiful. Yeah. Let the emotions flow. I hope that you feel that this is a safe place for the emotions to come forth. We want to let the emotion and the energy move through and out. Alrighty, have you muscle tested all of them? Let me know if you have. Okay. Heart beating faster when testing shame and guilt. That's a good insight there. Other sensations were people noticing? Notice what you notice. And in a few moments, we'll come together and I'll give you the phrases so you know how to release some of these. Okay. So we've got some insights here. Brilliant. Thank you. So in a moment, we're going to be releasing these. Again, we say this out loud once and then twice internally. Holding CV17 for releasing beliefs and emotions, and doing the karate chop for releasing energy reversals. Thank you so much for sharing what came through. Okay, so here are the phrases. And just to speak to these, you'll see that some of them you're like, Louisa, you've written these very grammatically incorrect. I have very deliberately done that. So the first one is, I'm ready to release feeling safe to hold XYZ, whatever the amount was. Let's say it's 100K in cash or investments. No. And so that's if you got a no. So you were like, I'm feeling safe to holding this amount of money. And instead of getting a yes, you got a no. So what we want to do is release the fact that you're feeling unsafe. But we're going to say it in a way that your consciousness showed you by saying, I'm ready to release feeling safe to hold what, and insert the exact number in cash or investments. No. Because that's what your subconscious did. I release and delete this across all dimensions and levels of consciousness. Does that make sense? So your conscious mind's going to be going, what? But it's all good because we're working with all levels of your consciousness. So we've got a couple of phrases there where we are bringing in that word no on the end of the positive sentence if you didn't get a yes to it. That makes sense? So I'm going to guide you through releasing the first one, and then I'll leave some space so you can release another two. And then if you've got more to do, just make a note if you've got all of them to release, and then you can circle back afterwards. Alrighty, so holding CV17, if you're going to follow along doing this one with me. If you're doing another one, just swap out the wording and do the one that you're working on. Okay, so bringing your heart into a coherent state by breathing in for 4. Breathing out for 4. And then saying out loud, I'm ready to release. Feeling safe to hold XYZ. In cash or investments, no. I release and delete this across all dimensions and levels of consciousness. Just taking a nice deep breath in and out. Just do a little energy scan. Notice how your body's feeling. Any sensations changing, and then silently repeating, I'm ready to release. Feeling safe to hold. In cash or investments, no. I release and delete this across all dimensions and levels of consciousness. Just taking a nice deep breath in and out. I'm ready to release. Feeling safe to hold. In cash or investments, no. I release and delete this across all dimensions and levels of consciousness. Just taking a nice deep breath in and out. And I invite you to continue with releasing the next one that you have on your list to release. We'll come back together in a moment. So just start to complete the one that you're working on. Oh, yes, I can see it's hidden. Thank you, Anne. Hold CV17 for the last phrase. So we'll start in a moment. And we'll be switching things up a little bit. So CV17 is where you hold that point. It's on the bottom right. There's a diagram where you hold that on your chest. And KC is on the bottom right. Is the karate chop where you're doing that, where you're releasing a energy reversal. Alrighty, who is ready to start to bring in and imprint the frequency and the beliefs and the thoughts that they want to become beliefs? Starting to imprint that. So we're building on what we've done on day 1 and day 2, session 1, session 2. So we know how this rolls. So I'm wanting you to get your heart into coherence, and then we're going to start to imprint the following beliefs by just repeating them internally. So just inviting you just to start to breathe in for 4. Breathe out for 4. Following that rhythm. Feel your heart filling up with more and more love. I love, I love, I love. And from this place, starting to think, I lead with my values. I lead with my values. Moving on to the next one. I evolve quickly. I evolve quickly. Moving on to the next one. Extraordinary outcomes are normal for me. Extraordinary outcomes are normal for me. Moving on to the next one. My influence expands effortlessly. My influence expands effortlessly. Beautiful. Moving on to the next one. I'm the kind of person who has whatever your desired cash months are. I'm the kind of person who has, insert your desired cash months. Beautiful. And coming back together now, inviting you to bring into your mind's eye a little mini visualization, to take a moment to see in your mind's eye a vision of you who has already achieved their desired business growth, their desired investments growth. What are you doing? Where are you? How are you moving? What action are you taking? Beautiful. And from this elevated frequency, I invite you to live in the energy of the question, how am I surrounded by more wealth and opportunity? How am I surrounded by more wealth and opportunity? And just notice if there are any thoughts that come to you in this now moment. Know that you've activated this. So you'll receive ideas and inspiration, synchronicities, and you get to take action on these. As you notice what you're shown, I invite you to take one new idea and implement it today. And as you're going to sleep tonight, to say to yourself, how am I surrounded by more wealth and opportunity? How am I surrounded by more wealth and opportunity? And when you're brushing your teeth tonight, I want you to remember this conversation is like, I need to remember to send myself to sleep with, how am I surrounded by more wealth and opportunity? How am I surrounded by more wealth and opportunity? Beautiful. Alrighty. I would love to know, how are you feeling? What is your takeaway from today? This is so important, so you can anchor it in, you can embody it, pop it in the comments. And on a scale of 1 to 10, how aligned to your intention are you feeling right now? Again, pop it in the chat. And we'll do the live giveaway for the Heal Space Time, for those of you who are live with me sharing your takeaways. Okay, so we've got some big takeaways coming through. What's been your takeaway? And whilst you're popping your takeaways there, just as a reminder, we've opened the prosperity field, and I just want to speak to those of you that already know that this next level requires a different caliber of support and a different identity and a nervous system calibrated to hold much bigger things. And over the last 2 sessions, you've seen in real time, that the next expansion isn't a strategy problem. This is about identity, capacity, prosperity holding. And in this current market, with the rapid innovation cycles and the volatility in the finance and crypto doing its thing and all the things, the leaders who are rising in 2021 are the ones that can hold the wealth, hold the visibility, hold the innovation and the speed and the responsibility without going into that contraction. And today we've been tapping into the prosperity field. And you know that prosperity isn't just about receiving more, it's about holding more and sustaining more and expanding that money default set point, that wealth default set point. And this is the exact work I do with my private clients. So if you already know that you're meant to elevate your leadership and your wealth frequency, then I would love to share 2 pathways available for you this week. So we have our private 12-month advisories. This is your year of identity, wealth, and leadership ascension. This is my highest level, most intimate partnership designed for the leader who is operating at that multi-6, 7 figures and wants to reclaim their prosperity. Maybe as something's happened, a business pivot, a divorce, grief, timeout, whatever it may be, to be able to stabilize your wealth and rebuild your reserves and strengthen your nervous system and make the $1 million decisions with that clarity and precision and that alignment. So this is the container where we're recoding your identity and expanding your nervous system and sorting out your energy reversals and all the things. So you have $50,000 of private coaching and energetic mastery with me, and this high touch strategic support all year. And then you also have priority access with direct private Telegram access to me for real-time troubleshooting, identity recalibration, and strategic alignment, and all those good things. That alone will eliminate, the number one bottleneck that high-level leaders face, which is a time delay. And today I'm delighted to reveal a bonus for our private clients who are stepping in this week into the year-long program, is that you will receive an exclusive 3-day retreat in Thailand. This is a luxury in-person experience, an intimate, high-frequency identity recalibration retreat, which I'm super excited about. I have been scouting for venues and finding some amazing places, which is really cool. So very excited to gift that to clients that are stepping into the year-long container. Of course, spots are extremely limited, and this bonus won't return. So just to give you a heads up on that. So you have an incredible value stepping into working with me for the year. The value is over 100K, but the investment is just 36,000 for the year. So if you're feeling the resonance, then just message me private and we'll explore whether this is the right year-long partnership for you, and we can take it from there. And then we have the Wealth Portal, which is our 6-month live implementation session where we're working in a group together. The retail for the Wealth Portal is $5,000 for just 6 months with me in this way. It's yours this week for $4,000 or $3,600 when you pay in full. And this is for you if you want structured identity recalibration, nervous system expansion, mastering the energetics so that you can stabilize your wealth set point and break through in the next 45 days or less. And this week, as I said, you get the savings. You get $1,000 off the retail, a further 10% when you're paying in full. And you also get the fast track ultimate guide implementation toolkit, which will help you to know exactly what to ask at any time, so you're never stuck. And of course, you've got me by your side. And I'm super excited that we have a juicy bonus. So for everyone who is stepping in this week, you'll receive one private 30-minute session with me, so that we can get you started off on the right foot. And the bonus of that alone exceeds the entire cost of the program, the entire investment. And for existing Wealth Portal clients, you receive a $500 loyalty credit this week. If you are a graduate of the Wealth Portal and you want to come back in and enjoy the breakthroughs to continue, then your investment is just $3,500 with your loyalty credit. So just message me or the team and we'll get the coupon code for you so you can apply that on checkout. Alrighty, so that all said, let's do the draw because I can see that you've been typing away. So let's see who has won. Can't wait to see all these. So where are we going? Here we go. Scroll. Okay. These are some juicy takeaways. Amazing. Oh, fantastic. Alrighty. Okay. So, I can see the winner is Patty. Patty, you are the winner of Healing Space Time. I'm so excited for you. I hope you haven't got that one already. If you have, then let us know and we'll give you another one. But congratulations for manifesting that. That is super, super exciting. I love it. And thank you everyone for your love and support to each other during our time together.
We're going to be back tomorrow for your bonus future self progression in the Akashic records. And then we will have a shop with me. So we will have conversations behind the scenes. So you can explore the different ways that we can work together. So we have we've spoken this week about the private advisory, the wealth portal. We also have the Dream Bigger membership. So I'll dive into that tomorrow for you as well. And our Akashic Records certification and our retreat. We have in Thailand, and then we have our Helix Method certification retreat in the Caribbean. But I will tell you more about that all tomorrow. So until then, I cannot wait to take you into the Akashic Records tomorrow, and I will see you then. Let me know, you're going to be joining me live or we'll be catching the replay. Let's see who's going to be joining us before we wrap up. That would be super, super helpful. Live, fantastic. It's so lovely seeing you live with me. And a big shout out to everyone on the replay. Please do share your takeaways in the Telegram, and remember that you can, by completing the survey, be entered into our draw for our prizes that we're going to draw for tomorrow. Fantastic. And if the team could pop the links for the survey in the chat, people need to grab them, and the link for private advisory. So for the private advisory, it'll ask you to book in a call so that we can jump on a quick call, or we can, have a chat in DMs about that, and the link for the wealth portal so that people can step in. You are very welcome. You're very welcome. So we'll leave the room open for a few moments so you can grab the links as they come in. Otherwise, I will see you all tomorrow. Sending you lots and lots of love.